Hi guys, welcome back to MyATCtv, and today we are going to talk about another power tool I got from Parkside, the Bandsaw PBS350 A1, or as we say it in French, scie ruban. When we are taking a close look at it, as you can see, the box isn't very big and it's not very heavy, so that's why I've decided to give you a quick tour and actually show you some setup before we start using it. Alright, as usual, enough talking, and let's go outside and take a close look at it. So about 2 weeks ago, I bought myself this bandsaw from Parkside, and this is my first video about it, so I've decided to give you a quick overview in order to show you how I'm setting up everything. Alright, let's get it open. So inside you will find a table, the instructions, a push stick, and if you are unboxing on the table, I will advise you to put the box on the floor in order to easily lift it up. So now that everything is out, let's take a close look at them. In the box they are providing 3 hex key, 1 flat key, and as I was showing you earlier, the table plate. There's a measurement line on the side, which is very cool actually. You will also have inside some loose bolts, so I would advise you to be careful in order to avoid losing it. And once again, a push stick, a fence in order to have the right measurements when cutting. And pretty soon, we're gonna use the instructions in order to assemble them all. And when I'm turning it around, on the back side, we have the motor, the 2 brackets, which will allow you to fix the table, an output for the vacuum cleaner. As I can imagine, it can be quite dusty if you're using it a lot. And finally, the European plug. And remember to push all the way up this part here in order to insert the table plate. And to open it, you will just need to use the provided screwdriver in those holes. And once open, we can take a look at the mechanism inside. Okay, so now let's read the instructions in order to set it up. And of course, as you can imagine, we're gonna first start with the table plate. If you ever get one, I would advise you to be very careful with that table plate, because the small part here is always getting out. Be careful to don't lose it. Okay, so let's start unscrewing in order to put it in place. And to insert the table plate, you will have to make sure to slide the blade in between this gap. You will have to slide it over and attach them into the brackets below. When you are placing your plate the first time, make sure that it's set up at 90 degrees compared to the blade. Then when moving to the fence, you will have to remove the plastic layer on top of it, but note that it's not really something mandatory. You can leave it if you want. And note that the fence is supposed to be parallel to the blade. And to make sure that it's staying in place, you will have to tie up the screws at the end of this fence. But note that you can also use the red handle, as you can see me doing it here. And as you can see, you can unscrew in order to rotate it as you want. Now that the rotation system is working well, we're gonna put back the table plate at the initial position. Alright, so I've decided to turn it again and give you a closer look at the mechanism. And in order to move your blade guide up and down, you will have some kind of handle behind, which I will show you soon, that will help you to move it up and down. And you can also lock it up if you want. Okay, so now let's close and take a look at the dust collector with the vacuum cleaner. And the thing that I realized when trying to connect the vacuum cleaner is that the connector doesn't stay in place. It's a little bit like it's not tied up enough. So I've decided to think a little bit here out of the box and use some glue. And while the glue is drying, I've decided to go back to the internal mechanism and take another look. When you turn it clockwise, it's supposed to help you to tighten up the blade. And on the other direction, it's supposed to help you to remove it. And here on the back, you will have another handle helping you to center the blade. I don't know for you, but I like to play with things. So here, as you can see, I'm enjoying myself and playing with it as much as possible. And not that playing with things is not bad at all, because it can help you to find some imperfections and other things to change. Oh yes, by the way, another thing, you will have behind it a screw that will allow you to hang the push stick, as I'm showing you here. And now let's finally connect the vacuum cleaner. Alright, so now that everything is set up, let's give it a test and turn it on. The thing that I realized when I turned it on is that the plate is trembling a lot. I don't know if you can really see it from here, but it's really moving a lot. So I guess that it's maybe because of the table I'm using. I don't know. I will see. But in the meantime, let's make some cut. As you can see for the first one, everything went quite well. Let's move on. And this time, put some angle to make some cut. Nice, nicely done. Look at this, perfect. So now let's remove each side on this scrap wood. Alright, perfectly done again. Alright, the cut isn't really perfect because it was just a test, but in general, I'm happy with it. Alright, I hope that you liked it. I've decided to show you a little bit of this setup because this power tool, this bandsaw, gonna help me to create some of the next project and also some of the next project. So this presentation, feel free to give us a thumbs up and look at below. We will be sharing different links if you would like to know how to support us and learn a little bit more about us. And don't forget that the entire platform is available for you via the mobile phone. So we'll be adding a link so you can download our mobile application to get us on the go. Alright? Before leaving, feel free to subscribe just right here. As usual, Mr ATC for another year of housing. And I see you next week.